Arden, but with Lance there, it's gonna be extremely hard for Glaive to stay onto the pedal. So it's gonna be a skill matchup for the Glaive to be able to outplay pedal here.
Kestrel as the final pick for Cyclone. How are you guys feeling about that one?
I like Kestrel because if Glaive dives in, Kestrel can immediately camel stun him. So Kestrel's a pretty safe pick, and it's an EU pick that they tend to favor. So it's not a bad pick here.
Especially if assuming it's going to be weapon Kestrel, does mean if you do get afterburned, you can, as soon as that stun wears off, generally, you're going to have the opportunity to just pop an active camo right on the spot and be able to get kind of maneuver your way out of a bad position if that's the case. So MouseSports, they're going to have to be very clean with their decision making and their shot calling when they do decide to try and go in.
MouseSports has a lot of bonus time to work with for their last pick here.
If I was MouseSports, I would play a CP Vox because it completely counters the pedal here. So hopefully they know that CP Vox would work really well. Pedal will not be able to engage. It'll split the team up completely for Glaive to basically pick someone off. And CP Vox is extremely strong with Arden. If you get everyone in the gauntlet and you bounce and you wait for it, it's going to be GG for pretty much the entire team there if they're inside the gauntlet. And with Glaive with the AoE damage, whew, that's a pretty solid combo that MouseSports can take here.
The question is, are they going to think about it? Because MouseSports has not been particularly creative with their drafts. I mean, they've certainly been picking mostly comfort or meta. You know, it's one of those two. It's never really been that reactionary, that counter-pick-centric playstyle. So going for the Crystal Vox when it's so far out of the meta does seem like a bit of a reach for me. That being said, they're using a lot of the bonus time. This is what it's for. Maybe they find the silver bullet that Swee's talking about here.
Another option, they can do CP Gwen and scale to the late game because she will outpoke the Kestrel and the pedal. And once she has enough damage, she can one-shot the pets. But they decided to go with a Fortress. Interesting. That's really tough because Pedal completely counters Fortress and Glaive. Like, if someone plays Fortress, you play Pedal. And with Lance on top of that, they're not going to be able to stick on top of Pedal or Kestrel. They're going to get deleted when they go in because Kestrel is going to do so much upfront damage and Pedal is going to be...
Cyclone's favorite seems from the desk.
I was going to say, Sui Generous has been doing some really cool analysis on the desk. Not only that, he's learned to become a caster. You make really bad puns. That's all you do. he's already learned.
He's feeling the boots of humanist already.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh, Irons. Well, it's all right. He afterburned away. It's fine. Mouse is on the defensive already as Cyclone just ravage their jungle as they do get forced off this one. We're actually seeing the first Fortress of the day as well, Xscoundrel. Exciting stuff going from Scorpio the Bro, even though he might just fall down here. Oh, the poke damage is real. There we go. Falls in the end. PT Lamb is going to be able to pick up that kill. Not the best start for the first Fortress of the day.
Well, already Cyclone showing exactly why their composition is wait a second. Bacon hasn't even touched on this. We've got weapon power Arden.
Oh yes.
Bacon's gonna have a Craigasm. He's gonna be ecstatic. Gonna be absolutely ecstatic. Or at least it seems like we've got weapon power Arden right now.
Yeah, you'd kind of hope. I mean, he's up in the lane. Also taking Waldemar taken very, very low. Lance is going to answer that bit of damage. Scorpio Bro yet again just going to have to back off. And Mouse already playing on the back foot here as we're looking at this one and we see Cyclone on more of a downward trend in terms of their results over the last few weeks. But the problem is MouseSports, they're not looking too hot themselves.
Cyclone might be on a downward trend. It might be that they're sort of running out of steam. Mouse never had any steam to begin with. They've had a really, really tough season, and you really can't phrase it any other way. You know, you want to find positives. Mouse has yet to win a game at all. They have yet to get a singular point from a quarterfinal game over the last 3 weeks, and they've really struggled here, Jaws. Now they've got 2 subs as well as 2 of their teammates are traveling. It's going to be a very tough situation for them. And again, they've drafted this triple melee. As soon as that petal picks up a Frostburn, it's going to be so difficult. And look at this already. Scorpio Bro going to be maybe forced away here, but Irons will just have to burn away. But once Petal picks up the Frostburn and she gets a reflex block to stop the afterburn, repositioning her, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for MouseSports to deal with.
Okay, that happened.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, but then
dear.
I stopped and it happened.
Yeah, Munyon's just too strong, and Scorpio Bro, is he going to suffer the same fate? No, look at them go. They're so strong. They're still chasing him. PT Lamb, he's had enough already. Scorpio Bro is going to get jumped on. PT Lamb chasing him under the turret. Munion's too strong as the Petal picks up another kill.
Yeah, Petal super oppressive against these kind of competitions. Like, actually, Glaive is sometimes okay into Petal if you have like burst damage to follow up. One thing Petal is bad at is because she's got the lowest base health in the game. She also has some of the lowest base health scaling in the game. She's actually really bad against gap closing heroes that can burst her. So if you can get past her minions, put pressure on her, even post trampoline, she can actually really struggle against those kind of heroes. Like Taka does, even though Petal can reveal Taka in stealth. The pure burst that Taka can sometimes put out is difficult for Petal, but here they're going to go onto the stealth Kestrel, but won't get anything from it.
Absolutely nothing. And, well, Lance the only one repositioned. Dian's taking a bit of damage there. Waldemar trading up a lot of that aggression. Here comes PT Lamb, though. Emma King's going to have to Vanguard away. Irons is going to be his safety net, and they are going to continue their aggression up in this lane.
PT Lamb must nearly be at a Frostburn. Once he's at Frostburn, it's basically almost GG for Cyclone. That's horrific to say at this point in the game, but it is kind of going down that route that, to be honest, once the Frostburn is there, like, I don't know how much MouseSports can actually do. Like, you've got to engage, and you've got to engage as a unit, and you've got to find that. But if you can't get the reposition on the Petal and the Petal reflex blocks, or your afterburn doesn't quite work out, you're really not going to be in a great position.
Absolutely not. But, I mean, Tension Bow has been finished here from Emma King, so maybe that's a little saving grace for him as he does just dive onto Wado. I did not expect the Lance to be there as well. Impale lands and Impale kills. There's one sharp Lance, and he does manage to pick himself up one. And Petal is going to rejoin the lane as they do continue their aggression onto this turret. But it's been 4 minutes and 50 seconds, and there's already been 4 kills.
Yeah.
3 of them on PT.
It's a roam glaive, so I guess he's playing sort of almost towards a cooldown reduction based glaive, knowing that the afterburn on low cooldown later on will be very, very good at dealing with a Petal because, you know, you can afterburn, she'll trampoline, then you can afterburn again and try and catch her out. But I don't know, I just think the follow-up isn't that great. You've got a CP Fortress, got a lot of burst coming out there. This Tension Bow Arden, there's a bit of burst coming out there, but realistically, I don't know how they plan to get through Lance. I don't know how they plan to get through the active camo traps. I don't know how they plan to get past this Frostburn at this point in the game either. Very, very tough game for MouseSports here. Again, but they are playing with 2 subs, so some of their tactics that they might have wanted to employ will be a little bit different. PT Lamb looks like he's on the hunt now.
Oh,
actually going to face check. He has got level 6 over Irons and Scorpio.
Well, he has found something. Emma King's actually going to trap Waldemar up in the top side. Does manage to pick himself up a kill. However, PT Lamb is going to be able to pick up Scorpio there. Iron shoved against the wall, but PT Lamb is going to have to reposition very fast. Does use the Crucible to try and get away. Reflex block even. Iron's in a lot of trouble. Does get impaled, and PT Lamb picks up his 5th kill in fact, of the game. It's probably going to be a 6th as well. Tension Bow, is it going to work out for you? Oh, the Crystal Sentry helps him out, gets the kill, but still going to be traded. Double kill goes over to PT Lamb.
Look how difficult it is for MouseSports to do anything once those minions are just slowing their movement speed consistently. Even with their gap closing, even with the afterburn, even with the Fortress, even with the Vanguard into the Tension Bow hit, it's still so difficult for them to chase PT Lamb down here. I think the analysts were right. The draft phase gone completely in favor of Cyclone. It should be an easy one for them to wind up. And it's very important for Cyclone. Because obviously MouseSports, like Tasty Baker said, there is no way that they can escape the challenge battle positions now. The maximum they can get is 8 points. And 8 points, even if they get that, would only put them in 6th place. So they're still, I think that's another death. That's just Irons going down. 6th place, I know, I didn't even want to hand over, there's no point. So 6th place is still in a challenge battle position. So with the Fnatic and Team Secret wins, there's no way they can catch up. So at the end of the day, I think they know that their fate, regardless, is tied to having to fight next weekend, I believe, for their position in the VG8. But Cyclone, they could take 1st place. They could take 1st place from G2 today. If they win at least 3 points or 4 points, they should take that 1st place position, depending on how SK perform as well. So got really good opportunity here for Cyclone to be our Spring Splits 1 champions.
They might be so. Emma King's going to jump onto PT Lamb, is still surviving with that consistent damage, what we were talking about. And the Lance gets a triple impale, triple kill comes through, and the ace. PT Lamb picking up the kills left, right, and center with those minions. They do so much work. It's actually depressing how quickly you get killed by the tiny, tiny minions. It's rather painful to watch.
She's very oppressive. Like, Petal is super oppressive. If you don't think about how to play into her, if you don't have an idea how to play into her, or if you do what MouseSports and gift her one of the easiest compositions to play into ever, she can be super oppressive. And actually, I think you're going to give credit to Cyclone here. They knew that they had their strengths against this triple melee. They knew that they could be aggressive early because there's probably no way for them to respond, especially at level 1, because Munion's level 1, by the way, are pretty sick. Oh, here we go, though.
Gauntlet, though. MK gets trapped inside his own gauntlet, and his demise was set and done. Attack of the Pack does come through as well, but Waldemar is going to be able to pick up both of those kills. Scorpion Bro trying to kill PT Lamb, but no wolves to... Well, it's not going to be a lamb to the slaughter. It's going to be a wolf to the slaughter after that one. Ace comes through it again for Cyclone. And, yep, Rising... I mean, MouseSports even not looking so hot in this game. Game number 2, I think they need to look for now. Just change up their composition a little bit.
I think you're completely right. I think we're at a point where, you know, whatever MouseSports drafted, and let's try and theory craft as to why this could have been a potential winning composition. Like, you actually have got a lot of gap closing potential. What Petal is particularly weak against is some instantaneous gap closers. So I actually... Let's say we had a CP glaive, for instance, or even a weapon power glaive, and you put Arden as the roam. There actually was potential to burst this Petal out. Actually, look again, Cyclone going in.
Yeah, Irons is going to get taken really low. One shot, one kill does come out and does end up finding the kill. PT Lamb does secure the credit for it. Emma King trying to get a bit of damage down, but his damage is few and far between with the cooldowns that he does have. Well, Lance is underneath the turret. It might be able to just get away. Does combat roll, not an issue. Waldemar, yet again, just poking away. Weapon Power Kestrel does a lot of damage with those base attacks. Emma King going fairly low in the front line. Ooh, Githian ward away. Will he be able to survive? No, he won't. Munion's going to chase him down, and that will be another kill over. PT Lamb, this guy is on 12 kills right now with only 1 death. Like, this guy is popping off.
Monster right now. I just want to clarify, I know we've been receiving a lot of questions, Jaws, about what update that we are currently playing on. We're playing on 2.2. Even though 2.3 has been released on live servers, we're currently on a tournament client, which means we're still playing on the patch or the update previous to the one that was released this week, just because we wanted to give players some time to adjust. So I believe next week challenge battles will be on update 2.3, but we wanted to give the players more than 3 or so days to adjust to the new update. So we're still playing on the update that they were playing on previously throughout this entire split, which was update 2.2. So I think that's exactly what you're seeing. If you're wondering why we're not on the new update, it's because we're on the tournament client, which build is still update 2.2, which was the update that was previous to the one that was released this week. Just clarifying. I know some people were confused.
Yeah, these guys, they've had a lot of practice, realistically, on this patch. So, obviously, they do know this kind of meta, as your video does rightly say and rightly point out, if anybody's not watched that. That's a bit of self-promotion for you there, not self-promotion, me promoting it for you. But the new patch is going to change a lot of stuff in the meta, which is going to be massive for these teams. And, well, Emma King's trapped in the back line. Does Gauntlet down, but PT Lamb is going to get the kill.
Yeah, the new update changes a lot of stuff. It changes attack speed. A lot of attack speed item build paths could have changed. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff, Jaws, that will be a little bit different going into this next update. So giving the teams just 3 days to try and adjust to that is probably not great for a competitive setting. So they've played the entire split on update 2.2. So we are leaving them for the last weekend. Very important games as well on the update that they have been playing on throughout the entire split. It just allows them to play what they've known, and then it gives them an entire week to adjust for next week.
Yeah, I don't want to chuck them in the deep end, although MouseSports are looking they're fairly looking deep right now, as do have Cyclone a moment's notice. That Kraken will be up very, very soon as well. 3 minutes on the clock. Attack of the Pack is going to get popped from Scorpio Bro just to kind of dissuade them so they can clear out the rest of these minions. Just the amount of minions being built up by Cyclone is pretty impressive as well. There's going to be a route down onto Emma King. Actually just falls instantly there to the Lance. And now Iron Scorpio Bro just trying to do something to dissuade Cyclone. But I think this is going to be close enough to the end of the game as the Impale does land yet again. Githian Wall does get blocked. Iron's actually just jumping in as well. They're just in their base. That is where they belong right now, I think. MouseSports just being pushed back so far.
Yeah, again, like it's so oppressive to play into a Petal when you can't actually get to her to burst here. The one thing that Petal is unfortunately weak against, and I've talked about it. I mean, the problem is, Jaws, I really want to analyze this game, but it's unfortunate that realistically, there was just, I think Sweet Generous pointed that out perfectly. The one reason that Cyclone are just dominating here is that Petal is very good against this kind of composition. She kind of really shoves Fortress in the bin. And they didn't go a burst orientated Glaive build, so even if Glaive can afterburn to her, there's no damage threat to her at that point in time. And Emma King needs someone to be able to get to PT Land before he can even follow up. He's not a gap closer himself. Blood for Blood's a fairly short range. We've got another fight coming up.
Oh, another engage. The gauntlet comes down. Attack of the Pack to follow as well. But Irons just gets obliterated. Same with Emma King. 2 more kills go Cyclone's way, and they've trapped Scorpy Bro as well in the Cyclone of Death that they've created. Ace comes through yet again. 21-2. Game number 2, I think, is looking on the cards for both of these teams. I don't think there's any more left to say about this game.
I think game number 2 has been on the cards since about 1 minute 30. Yeah?
Oh, boy.
Unfortunate for MouseSports, but I don't think they're going to be trying to defend that what they've done was particularly competitive here. I mean, they built a Weapon Power Arden, and I know Tasty Bacon's probably sitting there saying, "Way, Weapon Power Arden." They realistically didn't kind of fit into, I think, what they were supposed to play against very, very correctly. I did like the CP Fortress, but I probably would have liked to have seen Emma King and Irons swap roles, and that Irons would be sort of weapon power, and then you see a CP Fortress come out, and Emma King stayed in the captain role. That might have given them more of a fighting chance, in my opinion. But again,